Hi, I'm David. Welcome to In the Workshop. Right, let's get on with preparing this wood for making the next project. So I've milled this wood myself out of some logs, so it's all over the place. So we need to, for a start, put a nice straight edge on it. So what I'm going to do is just use a bit of scrap, and I'm going to screw it on and then run this along the fence of the saw, and I'll be able to get a lovely straight edge on one side of the wood, and then I'll have that to go off when I'm pushing it through the saw. Just need them down below the surface. So on that first cut, you might have seen that this pinched the blade and even stopped it moving. So I quickly switched the motor off. But that's because it had some stress. There'd been some strain on that grain pulling in, because as you can see, if I hold these two pieces together, they're touching at this end, at the ends, and then there's a gap in the middle. So once it cut through, it clamped onto the blade. So what I did was pull it out, turn it round, and it was a bit better cutting the other way. But once I got to the end there, I just stuck the wedge in to sort of hold it apart to go all the way through, and then it was okay. Alright, I just want to test the moisture in these again. 12, that's not too bad. This lime, let's check that. Oh, the lime more. 13.5. Even though it feels warmer and drier. That's very weird. That one's 14.6. Right, I'm going to have to leave them a bit longer then. So now I've cut them to squares like that, to a rectangular bit profile. They'll hopefully be able to dry better from all sides. So I'm going to have to put that on hold again. Alright, so I've got this pallet wood, and this is what I'm going to use on a new project on a new channel that's going to be coming up soon. It's not for everybody, but I'll let you know when it's running as well. But what I want to do for a start is just chop these to length, and I usually chop them on the chop saw, but I know that it's better to have a sliding table. You get a lovely cut sometimes on them, and I've been planning on making a sliding table for ages. So if you see my old videos, I bought this table saw second hand and did it all up, got it working nice. And this is what I've got here. It must have had some kind of other fitting for the sliding part on here. So I'm wondering if I can do something with this, because usually in an old table, in a cast one, they have grooves in, and a lot of table saws have got a groove in, and with them you can just make a board and have a runner in the middle. The runner will run in the groove. But let me show you what I've got here. I'm wondering if I can do something with this. So all I've got is this sort of channel piece here. So I'm wondering if I could do something with this to sort of guide the table on. So let's have a look. I'll take this off for a start. Let's unbolt it. So this is the way that come off. I've got no idea whether that was fitted correctly, but what I'm going to do, I suppose it was fitted correctly if these holes were there, because they line up with them two there. But what I'm going to do is take that off and spin it round that way, and there's two holes in there that can line up with these two on the table there, on the side of the table. I'll just have to stick these bolts back through there to get the leg tight. Actually, yeah, I don't need one there, so I only have to find one more bolt. Just been doing my own heading, looking around the workshop for a piece of wood that I put aside for the sliding table, and it's been kicking around that long that in the end I didn't realise I'd moved it out to the shed outside. So I finally found it, but I knew I had a piece somewhere. So this is just USB. So this is OSB, and it's 18mm thick. If you measure it, it's actually 17mm thick. So I know it takes up a bit of the blade height, but it should be nice and stable because this piece is nice and flat. Yeah, lovely and straight. So this was just an offcut from a DIY shop, so it cost me £2, but I thought it'd come in handy for something. So we'll keep that as it is. But now we need to make a track that'll go in there in that trench, and then a fence at the back here. So I'm just setting this table saw up to cut some strips out of this hardwood. We've got that hardwood strip cut. This one cut so it slides in there. I've got a couple of big nails holding this strip up above the surface of the tabletop. And what I'm going to do is run some super glue down there, spray the activator on the other part on the board, and then put them together to make it stick. This, I can't drop this enough. The riving knife still sticks up above the tabletop, else I would have took the board straight across and then cut it off afterwards, but instead I'm going to have to push it right up to the blade, and I'll just have some bits to keep it the same distance away from this. I've got the fence exactly, you know, exactly the same distance from the strip to there to make it all parallel, and the blades touching the back of the fence and the front. I'm rubbish with super glue. I usually end up being stuck to whatever I'm sticking. Right. Spray where it's going to be on there. And then put it on there. And then I'm just pressing firmly down. Hopefully that's sticking together. Really, it's only just got to stick it there, hold it a bit while I get it turned over, and then I can fix it properly. Now, what do you reckon? Will that be set? Probably will. Let's hold the nails. There we go. Here we are. Now we can fix that properly, so I'll either pin it or screw it. because that drops a bit like that, I'm wondering whether to put quite a big bit of wood coming down on this side of here that sits against that. Wonder if that'll help a little bit. So same again, I've got a bit of wood there that I'm going to use, clamped to the side, and I'm going to put some super glue onto that, and I've got that a bit proud as well, so that'll be how it sits. So putting this piece of wood on there has helped this a bit, so now it doesn't drop, doesn't tip right off, so it tips up a bit like that. So I can either keep it like that and just hold it down, or I think I might take a little bit off there. Right, so I just need a fence along the back here. Lovely. So that does what I want it to do. So I finally got around to making one. So that slides lovely now. Great. And obviously when I'm not using it, I'll just take it off and store it out the way. So I'll give that timber a bit more time for the moisture content to balance out a little bit, and then we can get on with that project. So I'll see you next time. Take care.